All right.
Good
Well, good
morning.
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 Yay. So happy we're here. We're here with Jeff Weathers. So he's been around, and I believe he has a Facebook group called QB Chat.
I
He
do.
has he's the expert and founder of QBX Accounting Inc. I'm sorry, LLC.
Yeah.
Sorry, Certified Advanced or Level 2 QuickBooks ProAdvisor, and out of Shelby, North Carolina. So let's get to know Jeff
Well,
today.
Well,
thank y'all for inviting me.
oh, we're thrilled you're here. We're just
Thank you.
absolutely thrilled you're here because you're a big fan, right?
Oh yeah, big fan. I didn't even realize that I went on Spotify and I listened to the podcast. I didn't realize that you were doing this and that.
Yep.
So I had to catch up.
Oh, okay. Well, the Spotify one, we answer QuickBooks questions. So any of you out there,
Right.
we have a quick Bookkeepers on Fire Spotify thing that when we people ask us questions about bookkeeping, so Don and I will answer them. So it's kind of a different format, but we think it's fun.
Hey, I love it.
And then this one, we go live and talk to other bookkeepers on fire like you know,
Yeah.
to inspire the rest of us out there, you know. But Jeff, we've known each other for a long time. Where did we meet? Do you remember?
Well, I think we really met at, I've been to Scaling New Heights. This will be my fourth year going. And I think we met the second year in St. Louis. I don't
That's
think
when
we
we met in
met
person
in person.
because you messaged me from in Messenger about something, and I would talk to you through that. I'm like, who is this Jeff Weathers guy?
Anybody that I really connect with, I'll try to make connections with them. So that's
You're
kind of
great at that.
where QB Chat came from. And so in QB Chat, I've always kind of kept the membership really low. I mean, you really to you either got to be running a firm or you've got to be going to the conferences or something like that. I've kind of kept it low so that hopefully we could build a community, between us, you
Right.
know.
And community is so important. I think I know, like at Connect, they had a whole one of the speakers was all about building community. She was really good, you know.
Yeah,
And but so you have QB Chat, that's a Facebook group,
it is.
and then you have your own firm. So tell us about your firm.
So my firm started out as Integrity Bookkeeping Services, and I started it in 2008. And I'm a self-taught accountant. I just learned from QuickBooks. QuickBooks taught me accounting, and all these people Doug Sleater. I was at the very end of that with Doug Sleater and Hector. I'm a QSP under Hector. Hector has inspired me so much.
What does QSP stand for those that don't know?
QuickBooks Solution Provider.
So if somebody wants to purchase QuickBooks, you work with Hector to get them a discounted rate, or that you get them the product, something like that.
That's right. So there's a link on my signature that if they use that link, they get 30% off for the first year. So
Nice. Okay. So you work with
yeah.
Hector, and then who else?
Well, I work with everybody. Donna. I really met Donna through Friday Night Live. Friday Night Live. Remember Hector
Mm-hmm.
and Michael and
Brad,
well
Andrew.
now
Yeah.
Andrew. Those three started it, and then Brad came along. And I met Brad and Andrew at Scaling New Heights in Orlando. I think it was 22. So anyway, we had a great time, and
Great.
uh, but Alicia is my QBO trainer. But Donna, I've took
Mm-hmm.
training from Donna. She
Mm-hmm.
tried to teach me how to do like an agreement, a formal. What do you call it, Don?
Engagement
Of
letter.
course, I don't do those. I'm so by the seat of my pants.
Yeah. I just do a scope of work. That's
Yeah.
all.
But
Nothing
I do
fancy.
now do the diagnostic,
Now, how do you do your diagnostic?
by the seat of my pants.
Now, do you because I know Veronica has a class,
I've
and
taken it.
yep, I think we all have. And how do you do your, I've adapted hers to do it my own way as Donna has. How do you do yours?
Well, I just really just say, hey, we've got to do a diagnostic. I don't like summarize our meeting or anything. I just say, hey, I'm going to spend an hour, 2 hours with you to figure out the game plan. And
Great.
then I just verbally just say it. I don't do contracts. I've tried to do contracts and they've never worked for me. So I just say, hey, it's going to cost this much. One thing that I like to do is I do a lot of weekly billing. I give a weekly quote.
It doesn't seem as much, does it?
It doesn't. So, hey, how much you going to pay your office staff to do your books? How much are you
Hmm.
paying them? You paying them $15 an hour? How many hours they work in 20? That's 300 a week.
Right.
So, hey, I'm just 250 a week, you know.
And you get actually paid 4 extra weeks during the year, because if you're on monthly, that's
Hmm.
52. That's really 52. 52 weeks versus 48 weeks.
Yeah.
You make more money. I know. I do that too. It's
And a big thing I learned from Hector from the very beginning was value pricing.
Now, how do you determine that with a client?
Well, yeah, my hourly rate right now it's like 250 an hour. So I just base it off, how much time is I'm going to be involved and like on cleanups, I usually do a flat quote, like a 10-hour block. So usually it's $2,500
Hmm.
and I can't guarantee that I'll have it solved in 10 hours. It might take another block, you know.
Right. Yeah.
That's
This.
kind of how I present it.
Right. So your minimum fee to do a cleanup, if they come, like if they called you up today and they wanted 23, 24 done, you would say, okay, I need a $2,500 deposit to get started. And
Yeah,
there's
and I doubt I'll be able to finish it in 10 hours.
right,
Right.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cleanup is always a challenge, and this is the time of year they start calling with, "I haven't done anything for 24." You know,
I mean, in QBO, you just back it all out, back it out. And I'm really good at rules.
and what are the tools you use to help you with any apps that you love?
I use Keeper and I
Okay,
use Right Tool
okay,
and I use Anchor.
okay. So that's you do your billing through Anchor.
Yep. Yep. I do some billing through Anchor.
Okay,
And I love Keeper because I have a lot of clients that I don't pay the $10 fee. I only have like two clients that I pay but I've got like 16 clients on Keeper that
okay.
I
Now
can
all right. So
communicate with.
okay, great, great. Now,
So,
do you use anything like when you're doing a cleanup to get the data in quickly? Like I use Sysant.
yep, I've thought about it. I tried them out one time. I couldn't get it. And I
You'll have to
keep
give me a call.
thinking huh?
You'll have to call me the next time you get it because I live and die by Sicilian.
I know Kimberly knows. I talk to her a lot, and she loves it too. She's always talking about Xent,
Yeah,
and
it's the
yeah,
best.
I'm gonna give it a shot again eventually.
I use it like almost for every single client.
But I mean, I just don't. I mean, I know that I could be using it more. That product would help me, but I just haven't dove into that.
I know there's so much to learn out there. You never know where to begin. You know.
Yeah.
So do you use like Money Thumb or Adobe or?
I've used Money Thumb to take a PDF and convert it in. And Adobe, no, I don't know too much about Adobe, and I use Excel and stuff
Oh,
like
I know.
that.
Do you use Google Sheets? I learned a thing in Google Sheets. I told Donna, all of you listening. The thing that drove me crazy about Google Sheets is I like to have Google because it's available all the time. So I would
Yeah.
create the formulas in Excel and then paste them into Google Sheets, and the formulas went away. Well, anyway, if you hit in Excel, if you hit Control tilde, the formulas appear, and then if you paste it into Google Sheets, formulas are there.
Well, I always have to refer to my assistant, Danny. Danny is my right hand person. It's a girl named Danny, and she's whenever I've got Excel or Google problems, I just have to run to her.
Great, great. Now, what do you do for fun?
I work. I love QuickBooks. I'm always like watching videos or learning something or And we live near Asheville, North Carolina, so it's about an hour from our house, and so we go up there a lot. We go at least once a month, and just kick around Asheville and get in the river. I live on the river, so I have a lot of fun.
Great. So, have you always lived in North Carolina? I detect an
I
accent, so probably.
Yeah, I grew up in North Carolina all my life in North Carolina. I lived in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, for about 20 years.
Okay.
I worked in computer operations.
Okay.
And then after I did that for about 17 years, then I discovered QuickBooks. I even had a small business back in 98, 99, 2000. I didn't
Uh-huh.
even know anything about QuickBooks.
So, how did
But
you discover it? How did you find
in
out about it?
in 2005, I left Myrtle Beach and I went to Asheville. I lived in Asheville and I got involved with a church called The Body, which was like a street level ministry,
Hmm.
and they needed somebody to use QuickBooks. And
Okay.
so I just started using it. And so now I do a lot of teaching people how to use QuickBooks. And I think the edge that I have is that I was a self taught person. And so I see what they're doing, especially a lot of people on credit cards.
Ah.
They'll get their credit card and they'll break it out in all these
Oh,
categories, and then
yeah. Now, and you started on desktop. It took you a while to embrace QBO. Tell us about that journey.
so yeah, gosh, I don't know what year I tried to go to QBO, maybe 2014, 15. I don't know what year it was, but anyway, when you were reconciling, the lines didn't even line up. And it's not like QBO now. I don't think I don't remember, but I just abandoned it and said no. I'm staying with desktop. But eventually, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I just really embraced it. And Alicia Katz Pollock taught me everything I know about QBO.
She's the genius.
And another thing that I did when I was back in like 2011, I started teaching at community colleges how to use
Oh, that's exciting.
QuickBooks,
Okay.
intro to QuickBooks. And now I teach at 6 community colleges.
Well, that's
So,
Oh, wow. I had no idea you did that. Yeah.
yep, I
so
do.
you're a professor. We can call you Professor Jeff.
I do seminars, through the
Okay.
small business centers.
Okay.
And so I do seminars, and they pay me like 250 an hour, and there'll be 2 hour seminars.
Not
I've
bad.
got I've got some coming up in next couple weeks.
Now,
One
are these
college.
live seminars you do, or do you do it on Zoom, or how do you do
I've
it?
been doing it on Zoom ever since COVID hit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So, do you show them your screen? Do you have a test case? How do you have a,
I use the sample QBO company file.
okay.
But back in the day, I used to go to the schools and do desktop on the big screen behind me.
Uh-huh.
And they had computers, and they could open up the desktop too.
Right. Right. So,
So
who are the people that attend this? Are they new business owners? Are they?
new business owners, yep, in this area, in the regional, there's 6 community colleges, within an hour of me.
Right. So, you
Yeah.
told them about how to get a QuickBooks Online account, how to invite their. You talk about the importance of having an accountant to help them. I'm sure.
Well, I try not to plug myself too much, but I do get business from it.
I'm sure.
Another secret thing that I used to get a lot of clients was there was this platform called takelessons.com.
I never heard of that
And I park myself as the most expensive person on takelessons.com, and I got a lot of clients off
one.
of that.
So it's
But
funny, when people pay a lot for something, it has more value, which,
yes,
which I'm always preaching. Don't be the cheap, don't be Walmart, be Louis Vuitton. So you're
well,
Louis Vuitton. That's great.
well, Microsoft bought Take Lessons and
Okay.
they destroyed it, and it
Oh,
just closed about 3 or 4 months ago.
oh,
But
okay.
it's kind of like Upwork. I know Donna is a big fan of Upwork, and
Yeah, I was. They killed it.
I can't get Upwork to work for me.
So it's downward for
It
you.
it doesn't really, the good things about it that were there are gone. So yeah, it's really hard now. They've taken away a lot of stuff, so I don't really use it anymore.
Yeah.
So I
We'll have to
like
discover
doing it
another
there.
tool that we can,
Yeah.
get customers, because I think that, we have such knowledge here in business. People want to start their own business and they don't understand the importance of getting their accounting system set up right, because they think that, oh, how hard is it? It's a checkbook. And then they come to us after it's a mess. I mean, when they never call me when the books are in good order.
No,
They're always a
never.
mess.
But Jeff, let me ask you: do you use Alignable?
I do use
I
Alignable. In
thought
fact,
so. Yeah.
I'm teaching on Alignable now. Kimberly knows she has about 4 different groups on Alignable, and there's one called QuickBooks Question Q&A. And in fact, tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m., I'm teaching from 2 to 3 p.m., and it's going to be a 3-week session. Tomorrow is definitely intro to QBO, and just over the 3 Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can come and we chat and I show you all about how to use QuickBooks. We're calling it Fast Track QBO
Now,
because
how do you get, if I wanted to attend this, how would I do that?
you got to go on Alignable, or I could send you a link and you could
Okay.
register. Yep.
Is there a cost?
No cost.
Wow. I know Kimberly's in the chat. So,
Oh, really?
she's the alignable queen. She was
Oh,
with us
she
like
is.
2 weeks ago
Yes.
talking
She,
about it. So,
she's a big supporter of mine. I really appreciate
and
her.
she says, she's saying in the chat, okay, tell Jeff he's doing great.
I'll do like I always do. I'll fake it till I make it.
Right. And you did tell us earlier that you have imposter syndrome. Tell us about that.
Oh gosh, especially when I get around a lot of accounting folks, because I don't have no accounting degree, but I think I am pretty knowledgeable,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so, but yeah, I do struggle with that, but I've been very successful, and so that's given me a lot of confidence. I think, heck, I did it. You
Yep.
know.
Yep. Yep. That's great. And so you're on Alignable. You're not using the taking lessons anymore. No more Upwork. And I think that SBA thing, or what is it? The
Small Business Center, the
Small Business Center.
SBCs, the small business. In North Carolina, every county has a small business center. They're in the community colleges around.
So did you like walk into the community colleges and ask to be their teacher, or how did you get involved?
Yep, I just approached the director at the community colleges and say, do you need somebody to lead a QuickBooks seminar? You know, And usually I'll do them in 2 sessions. So the first 2 hour session, like on this Wednesday, we cover a good little bit. And I can really talk all the way from the choosing which QuickBooks product to choose all the way up to reconciling. I can really cover that in 2 hours.
Right.
And then the second session is we just do it again. Go a little deeper. You know,
Okay. So do
it's
these
for
people have QuickBooks already so they can work along, or you're
Sometimes they don't have QuickBooks. Sometimes they have a rec. If they have a rec, then hey, I tell them, you can contact me directly, and I've gotten clients from that. And then, but a lot of people are brand new, just checking out QuickBooks, and so I go through the different levels of QuickBooks and which one to choose. And I always try to encourage them to say, buy an hour of my time and let me set your chart of accounts up. if
right.
if you get started right, you'll be okay.
Right. Yeah, I mean, have you seen it where I know they come into me and every single expense is a bank account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah. Love it.
I remember I did a client one time. She comes in and she goes, "I'm ready to get my taxes done." I said, "Okay." So this was in desktop days, and so I pulled up a P&L and it had 2 lines on it: business income and business expenses. And she goes, "Well, this was business income and business expense," and I'm like, "Well, she wasn't wrong."
Right.
So I kind of
Absolutely.
spit it all out, But I thought, wow,
So are y'all going to scaling this year?
yeah, we're going to actually. Don and I
Yep.
we're teaching a class together.
And what's the topic?
What's the topic, Donna?
Oh gosh.
something about educating clients. It's a very boring.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's a boring. We'll
We
do
are
a
not
video on it,
here.
but yeah, it's a very
Don and
boring
I
topic.
planned to make this fun. So you have to come to our class. I think it's on Sunday, actually, at 1:00.
Well,
Yeah, we're one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've attended your class, Deb, and it's always fun.
yeah.
So
So Don and I have a whole plan how we're
but
going to do it. So it's going to be
you
a
you
good.
know Michelle Long. Oh God, she's like the oh
And
love
she just
her.
retired. She just retired this
Hey, I'm
year.
gonna tell you now. Now I'm gonna be. I was nominated for the top 100. So if you need somebody to vote for, please consider
Yes.
me. I would be honored.
Yeah, because
Honored.
that closed just 3 days ago. The top 100. That's great. All right. Perfect.
So when that list comes out, I was on the list 2 years ago, and I really thought I really had a good little shot at it, but I didn't make it. And last year I didn't even apply, but this year it forced me to get to level two because you had to get to level two to even apply. So I really buckled down, and I got the payroll certification. I already had level one, and then I got level two.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get rolling in it, it's kind of fun.
Oh, the test is fun.
I know.
So
I
much
like it.
better. It's so much better than it used to be. Remember, they
Yes,
asked those
so much.
questions. I mean, like
It didn't make any sense.
every answer I thought was it covered in the material.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Every question.
So you're certified in the payroll too,
Yep.
and
Yep.
the level one, level two,
You
and then
might find this one interesting. I did desktop payroll for years, you know. I sold 16 desktop clients to ADP.
I heard about that. You did real well with that, didn't you?
$135,000.
Nice.
They paid me for 16 clients.
And they put it all in ADP, and then you don't have to do anything anymore.
Well, I still have to do a little bit. You still got to keep an eye on them because
Right.
it's quirky just like QBOP is.
But not as bad as I mean, I use ADP,
Do
so
you?
I like ADP. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a client that where you can run and done.
oh, aren't they the best?
Oh, I think you can do that in QBOP now, though,
You can
can't
do it.
you?
Yeah, it's called auto payroll. I have a lot
Yeah.
of. If
Yeah.
I have
Hmm.
really small payrolls, one or two, I'll put them on QBO.
P. QBOP is what I call
But
it.
if anybody has any
Hmm.
type of complicated, which I mean more than like two employees that have hours,
Yeah.
put
Benefits.
them on ADP because I like
Right.
the automation of it. I like that the taxes are done. I like, you know, but IOP, QBOP is getting much better, much
Yep.
better than it was. I remember I was on council and we were taught one whole thing was all about QuickBooks Online Payroll. And they said to me, what's it going to take for you to go back to QBO payroll? I said, you'd have to come over, tuck me in every night and cook my dinner. So,
I discovered something really interesting about sales tax on QBO. In North Carolina, you can now pay the sales tax straight to the state from the software. I don't think it's in many states
no,
yet.
it's only we saw that at Connect, and we saw that
Hmm.
that was great. Now they did have a fee for to do it. I saw you say $20.
Yes, so I did it the other day. I was showing somebody how to do it, you know, and they hadn't paid their sales tax in a while. We paid the first one. I said, God, I believe they've changed this because you can pay straight. You don't have to jump over onto the state's website. But the second month that I tried to pay, it popped up a $20 fee.
Now let me tell you something. A lot of people don't want to. To me, the fact that it's done is worth $20 because what is your time worth? You charge $250 an hour. So divide 250 by 60. What is
Right.
that math? If it takes you more than 2 minutes, you've made money. So this thing, I don't want to pay $20. It's kind of
Right.
like I have a lot of I have Davo sales tax with a lot of my restaurants. It costs $58 a month, but they impound the tax every day. They file it. I for $58, I don't have to worry about it. It's worth it to me. So
Yeah.
the fact that you have that in I know North Carolina has it. I wish they'd get it other places. I think QBO sales tax is pretty good because
It's gotten better because it was bad too. The reports were not right, but
again,
now,
it's all in
now
the setup. You have to make sure the customer is taxable or not taxable, the item is taxable or not. I know I have a client that's a restaurant, and he actually services. If you or like if you go to scaling, and if you check the kosher box, he's the one that cooks the dinners. So he services all of the restaurants in the Disney area: SeaWorld, Universal, Walt Disney World, the Marriott's, and so he invoices for those, and that's sales tax. But some of them are in Orange County, and in Florida, it's based on the county you live in. And QuickBooks will actually calculate the correct tax by the shipping date by the county. So it's fabulous. I mean, it's great. So I think QBO sales tax has come a long way. Could be a little better sometimes, but it's
yeah,
free.
QBO's come a long way.
I know. I mean, they keep wanting to improve it, and I'm all about that. Yeah, but that's great about that. So it was easy to file the North Carolina sales tax,
It was.
right through QBO.
I was shocked how. Now, hopefully, it went through okay. We'll have to follow up, just like ADP. You got to keep an eye on them. Like definitely, I mean, ADP is the Cadillac. They charge you.
I don't think
Um,
they're. I mean, I have one that's on paychecks, and they're paying almost twice as much.
really?
So I think ADP is pretty reasonably. I mean, again, payroll messed up is very expensive. So it's like you pay for service. I mean, that's why people drive cars because they don't want to walk.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well, I'll
willing.
tell you another good thing that we've been doing at conferences. I've been organizing a dinner before the conference, like the first day of like on Saturday night. Like last year, we went to the hibachi place in the hotel there,
Okay.
and there was about 25 of us showed up, and when we in St. Louis, I got a restaurant down the street, and I think there was probably maybe about 35 people showed up for
But that
that
was
one.
a barbecue one. Didn't you go to a barbecue place?
No, I didn't. No, this was not Italian. Um, I don't know what the word is. I don't know.
Now, how do people find out about this dinner if they? And it's good for anybody new if you want to meet some people. You
Yeah.
know, how do they find out, and how can they?
We've been calling it a QB chat dinner. People that hang out in QB chat, I usually announce it. I'm not sure
Okay.
I'm going to announce it this year. I think I'm going to just choose certain people and say, "Do
Oh,
you want
okay.
to come?" So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of rude of me to do it that way, but I kind of want to just hang out with my people.
right.
You
Now,
know?
when you stay right in the hotel,
Yeah.
you don't go to Disney Springs or anything like
No,
that.
no. I go park my car and I stay there the whole time.
So you drive down from North
Yeah,
Carolina.
I drive. Takes about 10 to 12 hours. It could vary.
Right.
Straight, remember last year I'd asked you about staying at your place right on the beach, and you said, "Yeah, come on down." I couldn't even find anybody to go and stay. Remember? Do you remember
Yes, I
offering?
remember. Yeah, because I have a condo right on New Smyrna Beach. So,
And you offered. You said I should thrown it out to you. Well, I heard you say it or something.
oh
Say,
yeah, I
come
always
on.
want to have people like I know. The conference starts on Sunday, and everybody comes to Florida. I think take a beach day and come on over to the beach. It's a 3-bedroom condo.
Perfect.
We
I
have a
was hoping to
slumber
hang
party,
out. I tried to
and then
get.
next day get back in our cars and drive back to the conference.
So I ended up going to a friend of mine's in Jacksonville, and
Okay.
so I spent the night at my friend's house in Jacksonville, and then just had to jump over to the conference on Saturday.
Yeah,
So
it's not far. I mean, my condo is almost a straight shot. You go on I four,
probably like
then
an
a 4.
hour away.
It's about an hour, hour, maybe hour and 20.
Yeah,
But you're right smack dab on the beach. I know Lori O'Neill stayed there, and I know Cassie Growth Curse have come over, and
yeah.
so,
Kathy lives near there, doesn't she?
yeah, Kathy now lives in Ormond. She's about 10 minutes away from me.
Right. It's a
That's
it's a
great.
I love the accounting community. Even though I'm kind of a newbie, everybody's so nice and
Yep,
so helpful. You
great.
know.
Well, we're just about at time. So, do you have any words of inspiration for anybody watching? What would you inspire us, Jeff, with something great?
Just dive in. I mean, it's just I think I have the entrepreneur brain, and I'm always coming up. I'm constantly coming up with ideas. I just bought a fast track QBO. What do you call it? URL? I don't know what you call it. Fast track QBO. I come up with ideas, but executing them and bringing them to fruition is kind of hard for me. But
Well, see, you're
uh,
Walt Disney. You need a Roy Disney.
yeah.
Walt was the idea guy, and Roy was the one that made it happen. So we got to find you a Roy.
But I'm getting older, and so I'm getting lazier, and so like, well, I really enjoyed. I'm honored that y'all asked me
Oh,
to.
we're thrilled that you agreed to come on. So you're our first guy, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
So thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
I
thank you so
sprung it
much.
on him. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, yes. All right.
all right.
So
Well,
All
do we have
right.
any guests lined up for next week, Donna?
Yeah. Hang on one sec. Who do we have for next week? We have Nancy McLennan.
oh
Nancy
yeah.
from Ask a
Yep.
CPA. So, she's going to be great to
Yep.
hear from.
I
She's
love I love her training. Love it.
she's very good. Yes. So we're excited to have Nancy on next Tuesday and hear all about her group, the Ask a CPA. And she's in Bookkeeping Buds. She's really brilliant. All right. So anyway, Jeff, thank you
All
again for showing up, and we will see you next week.
right. Okay. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.